Hello everyone, Hummus28 here, and today we're back in the back rooms. Starting up right here at our magical Botania Center, along with our magic workbench, because today we're crafting the Elven Gateway Core. Now I already prepared all the prerequisite materials, the Terra Steel, the Living Wood, Rune of Spring, Ender Resonator, Guardian Diode, and the Resonant Integral components, and this was a pain to set up. It's not expensive, it was just annoying. So if you look, you need any hardened glass, which is very easy to make. You need 4 Enderium ingots, and then a reinforced integral component, and 2 advanced electronic components. And advanced electronic components we have on a lock. We can craft as many as we need at any time. We've mastered it. But Enderium ingots take resonant ender, osmium, and diamond dust, and it was extremely annoying. So let me show you what I had to do down here. I had to put the magma crucible on top of the pressurized reaction chamber, make a chemical oxidizer. By the way, that wasn't not in the quest book, because to get osmium in here, you need to use this machine to get it in here. Also, I built a little gauge dropper because it was full of, see there's like more oxygen here. To pull out the oxygen, I was hoping that I could just like pull the resonant ender out with the gauge dropper like this, but because this is a thermal series machine and not a mechanism machine, it didn't work that way. But luckily, Enderium is that simple. It's 1 endstone dust, 1 osmium ingot, 1 diamond dust to make Enderium ingot. So once you set that up, solve the puzzle, it's very simple to get 4. But then the reinforced is pretty easy as well. Nether quartz, electrum, so pretty easy stuff to get. And then the hardened is just Invar, also pretty easy to get, and an advanced electronic component. So even though it has a lot of steps, none of them are extremely difficult, they're just a little bit tedious. But of course, we're missing one more thing. The teleportation core, which requires a filled soul vial of an Enderman and a singularity. Now as you can see, I do have our Enderman filled soul vial. It's not hard to, summon another Enderman and right-click him. Very easy to do. But if you hear that, what's that sound? It sounds like someone left the sink on. And if that's what you were thinking, you'd be right. As I mentioned before, the kitchen sink provides infinite water. So by having a deployer constantly click it, water goes in, gets pumped out, and goes into our matter condenser. So as you can see, I've been running this for like 30 minutes, and we're only at 20,000 of 256,000. Now to put into context, 1,000 millibuckets, or 1 bucket of water, is worth 1 energy. In order to fill it up with blocks, you need 4,000 stacks of 64. We're nowhere near that much. So I'm just gonna have to pause the video and let that run until we have a singularity, which at the current rate will take a pretty long time. Now luckily I do have a way to speed this up a bit, in that we have our cobblestone generator that generates a ton of cobble every second. We also have our bamboo farm over here. Ow, I forgot there's a saw blade there. Our bamboo farm that also has another almost 4,000 bamboo, and our wallpaper farm that has another 4,000 wallpaper, so I can pull that out and process it that way. Not to mention, we come all the way to the end here where our mining operation is set up. We also have our massive store of ingots that we can use as well. Like look, this is even full. This alone has like 15,000 blocks in it, so we can use that. And how much is in here? Yeah, like another 15,000, a little under that. So we do have the blocks that we can start burning, but that would just be a massive waste of resources really. When I could do this, and it's technically free. I could make it go faster if I had more kitchen sinks. I don't believe you can craft these. Kitchen sink. Yeah, you can't craft them at all. You would just have to find them in the back rooms. But if you're wondering how to get a singularity and the resources to do it, This, I believe, is the most efficient way because it runs all the time, it never runs out, and it can do it 24/7. So I'm going to pause the video, and when we come back, we will have one singularity for the teleportation core. Which is not going to be enough, because if you look, the black eye also needs one. And I think that's it, right? Don't think anything else needs one. Let's see. This requires you to have one as well to get the antimatter pellets. But other than that, and then you need 2 over here. Okay, so yes. You will want to have some kind of setup like that running 24/7 so you can get enough singularities. Luckily, this isn't like any other mod pack where you're going to need multiple singularities in order to like craft a bunch of items. It looks like you only need 4. Which honestly is not too bad. So, I'll be back in a second. And we're back. As you can see, we have our singularity ready to go. So let's go someplace a little less noisy in order to do this. And then I'll probably leave Minecraft running like tomorrow while I'm at work. That way I can just have all this cooking. So we need to make a teleportation core, which goes in the soul binder. Let's see. Right here. So 1 Enderman thing and singularity. How do we put experience in here? That's a good question. Let's see. Soul binder. Soul binder. Soul engine. Bind a soul. What mod is this? Ender IO. I think they have a block for this. Ender IO. Like they have a way to take your experience and put it in the machine. Let's see. XP vacuum? No, this will suck up XP from like the floor. Painting machine, vacuum chest, powered spawner. Creative power wire charger, travel anchor. Capacitor banks, crafter, soul engine, drain. XP obelisk. Is it this thing? Let's see, let me Google it. Because we need to put XP in here. Alright, after Googling, it seems like we need to use an XP obelisk. Vacuum obelisk. Apparently this can do what we need it to do. Do I have any more solarium though? We need 3 and an ensouled chassis. I can make an ensouled chassis, right? I don't think I have any more of the crystals. I had more terra steel in here! I wasted so much time collecting mana. When I was making the 4 terra steel, I was like, man, I thought I already made 4. And I just didn't check my backpack. Well, I'm a fool. Okay, so let's see. We do need an experienced rod, which takes energetic alloy, which means we have to use this machine again. And we're gonna need... Let's see... Wait, what's it? Yeah, the obelisk. Because I think this works as a sink. So let me grab one of these real quick, because I have to move this whole setup. I'll be back in a second. Okay, that's done. Now, from what they said, you just have to have this essentially push into here. So you're going to push like that, and this needs 6 levels, so we should be able to store 6 levels like that. And I clicked 1, why did it take more? Yeah, so now it has the juice. Now it's working. Working very slowly. How many times do we have to do this? This just needs a singularity. This needs the core. Some kind of exporter, portable IQ. The Tempad wants one. I don't think I'm going to craft that. You need one for this. Ooh, portable teleporter. Digital miner, security desk, QIQ. Oh, we do need another one for the quantum entangloporter, because you need this for the quantum string. And if you're wondering how I know that, it's because if you go further down, you get over here, because you need to make a quantum entangled singularity for some reason. I don't know why that's required. Oh, here we go. It's for the dragon eye. The dragon eye requires it. This eye requires one. And this one doesn't. Interesting. And we're done. Cool. Thinking with portals. So now that we have all the pieces, we can finally craft our elven portal core thingy. I've never actually seen this. So let's see. I'm going to take a screenshot with the snipping tool. So I put everything in the right spot. Okay, so we do Terra Steel on the outside. We do our Rune of Spring. We do the Ender Resonator. Our Guardian Diode. Our Resonant Integral Components. Our Living Wood. And that goes on the top, not the middle. And the Teleportation Core. To make the Elven Gateway Core. Quest completed. Now how do I actually use this thing? Why is this still locked? Oh, because I'm going to get honeycomb. Let's see, can you see them from here? No, you can't see them. I did summon some bees, but for some reason, like all the bees just like flew up and went that way. I did have some flowers, so I thought they would stay there, because I got the flowers from using the reality frame. I don't know which seed gave it, but they did drop it. Now how do I actually use this gateway core? So let's see. To make this, you need reinforced alloy, which is ender pearl, a bifrost block, alf glass. Okay, so this is why you need it. You need mana glass into here to make alf glass, and then use the alf glass to make the other glass. But do I just place this on the ground? How exactly does this work? I don't have any cobblestone. And it does look quite large. So let's grab some cobble. And we're going to expand the platform a little bit. Just because I'm not sure how much space this is going to take. Let's come in over here. Grab a stack. And now we can build a little spot for it. Let's see. Let's put it next to the frog. Still hanging out down there? Yep. He doesn't want to come up. I built him a little staircase so he could come up. He's just being stubborn. He doesn't even get sacrificed like the cows. Mostly because the cows are very easy to get. I could just summon them from the reality frame. So let's put this down. Okay, we're gonna need our book. Building a reality frame. Summoning 101. Where's our Britannia book? At Britannia. Let's see here. Where's the book? Because I built the frame, but I didn't actually read the passage on it. Thundercaller, Stormcaller. Ooh. Okay, don't get distracted. I need to find the book. Not sure where I left it. If it's not in my backpack and it's not in one of like these chests, then it might still be at the old base if I didn't bring it over. So we're gonna have to take a short walk over there. Okay, let's go check. Time to take a short walk. We're not doing anything else. Because we built the core, so I'm assuming there like needs to be some other like items next to it or something. That's what I'm thinking about in my head, but I'm not sure. Hopefully the book will tell us what we're doing wrong and how to start trading. Because we're going to have to trade for a couple items. We're going to have to deliver them a pizza so we can get one of the Ender Eyes so we can escape the back rooms. And Britannia book. One eye. Britannia book. Actually editions, reality frame, the quest book. Britannia, here we go. Let's see. Entry index. The portal to Alfheim. Once upon a time, elves I can't speak, shared the world with us Minecraftians. Yes, I want a close snipping tool, thank you. Due to events unknown to us, they were banished back to their own world, Alfheim, never to return. Experiments have been performed in an attempt to re-establish a connection between the two worlds, and a theoretical procedure for creating such a portal has been devised. Actually creating this portal would prove to be an arduous task. Quite a few unusual resources would be necessary. The net requirements come down to 8 living wood blocks, 3 glimmering living wood blocks, and an elven gateway core, and at least 2 mana pools and natural pylons. The living wood blocks can be of any variant, so feel free to mix it up if you're feeling fancy. So we need a natural pylon, at least 2 mana pools with Natura pylons directly above them would be needed within an 11 by 11 area around the core. The initial activation of the portal, we believe, would cost a huge amount of mana from said pools and would be performed by right-clicking the core with a Wand of the Forest. The portal is designed to draw mana from all pools with pylons equally. If any pool ran out, any connection a portal might have would close. Even with all these preparations, any link the portal could establish would be too weak to transfer living beings. So an Alfheim vacation's off the table no matter what, but items just might make it through. Though mana from the surrounding mana pools would be needed for items to survive a return trip. All knowledge about Alfheim in the lexicon is, at this point, limited to what you find in this entry. It seems that elven knowledge has almost been totally lost. Perhaps if the elves could have a look at this book, they could provide further insight. Interesting. Okay. So we have the gateway core. Now we actually have to build the gateway itself. And then it's hinting that we're going to throw the book inside for some kind of result. And that means we're going to need quite a few resources. And everyone has been telling me, James, you can't just use endoflames. There are other ways to generate mana that are much more efficient. And I said, blah 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 blah, if I just make more endoflames, it is more efficient. But it seems like I'm gonna actually have to dabble in some other mana generation, because if we need to fill 2 mana pools to do this, I don't think our 10 or so endoflames is really up to snuff. So let's take a look here. Our mana pool is full because I made sure to fill it back up, just in case I need to craft anything. But this is definitely not going to be enough room for it. Might have to... Because our portal's here. Our generation right now is right here, so we might want to just build it on that side. Because we're going to need the space for it. And just going out by 4 and then by 5 should be good enough. Just don't fall into the lava pit right below. Okay. Grab our gateway core. And put it right here. This is a good spot for it. So consulting the book, we need to make the frame out of, what are these 3? Why are they green like that? 8 living wood blocks, 3 glimmering living wood blocks. Living wood and glowstone. Oh, that's very easy. We have glowstone in abundance. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then, so it would be 1, 2, 1, 2, glimmering, glimmering, 3, 4, here, 1 there, glimmering, that, and then let's get rid of the cobblestone so it looks a bit cleaner. Alright, looks pretty cool. It matches the diagram perfectly. Where's the diagram? There it is. Matches the diagram perfectly. Now then. at least 2 mana pools and Natura pylons. Okay, it's a good thing we have the extra Terra Steel, because it looks like we need the nuggets for this. And more Echo Shards. I'm going to have to collect those, which means I'm going to have to fight the spiders and cleanse them, because we need more Echo Shards to make the Natura pylon. And what about this mana pylon? Mana pylon, diamond, iron, and gold. Okay, so that's pretty easy. It's a structure that pulls natural energies from the earth and uses them to power enchanting processes. Setting one adjacent to an enchanting table, as if it was a bookshelf, will dramatically increase the power of the table. Just 2 pylons are enough for a table to reach level 30. Oh, that's useful. And then you need 2 mana pylons with Natura pylons directly above them, needed within an 11 by 11 area of the core. The initial activation would cost a huge amount of mana, and would be initiated by right-clicking it. Okay, so 11 by 11 of the core, so that would mean we could put all of them back here, so we could have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Natura pylons on top. And a pool. I think these are just, yeah, living rock, so that's very easy. It's just stone, because we don't have a lot. We have 8. We're going to need to get some more. Luckily, it's very easy if you remember. You just put stone right around this, and it makes living rock. Don't need that. And then we're going to need the Natura pylons. So let's bookmark this, and bookmark the pylons. It's a Gaia pylon. Pixie dust and elementium. Interesting. Bookmark that, and then the mana pylon. And then we're going to have to fill all of these with mana. So let's see what kind of generation we can get out of here. Add a bookmark. If you go to generating flora, this is where it shows all the stuff. Why are some of them locked? Complete advancements to unlock more. How dare you? How dare you? Okay, so we've been using the Endo Flames to generate a blast of mana. You use TNT to blow these up. But what makes it annoying is they don't say exactly how much mana they give you. And the mana, whatchamacallit, mana pool doesn't like tell you what the limit is, which would make this a lot easier. This one you give it food to get mana. They suck up any still water in a 3x3 area and convert it to mana. Fortunately, even though they seem to function faster during rain, their base mana output is still rather slow. In addition, they decay after around 3 days. Okay, so that one's useless. Generating the form of natural mana that is from other living materials, the Munch Dew will eat up any nearby leaves and convert them into mana. However, no saplings or other items will be dropped from the leaves. This flower outputs a hefty sum of mana per tree's worth of leaves. However, once it finishes eating all leaves in range, the Munch Dew will take a brief digestive break and will only eat again after around a minute. Okay, if this generates a lot of mana, then this one might be useful. And it looks like it takes any kind of seed. Yeah, wheat seed, rune of gluttony. Okay, let's bookmark that one. Narslimus. Let's see, this only works with slime chunks, so that's not going to work for us. Experience points contain a magic of their own. The Rosa Arcana can tap into this magic, absorbing the experience of nearby players and turning it into mana. It can also synthesize mana from experience orbs and items in the world. Okay, interesting. Let's bookmark this one. And the Therma Lily is a lava-flavored counterpart to the Hydrangeas. The flower absorbs lava around it at the same altitude. After absorbing 1 block of lava, the flower will produce mana continually for 30 seconds. Afterwards, though, it needs a bit of time to cool down before it can produce any more. As temperamental as its drink of choice, though, it tends to have a randomly vary how long a cooldown period lasts, anywhere from 20 seconds to a full 5 minutes. You can tell how long its most recent cooldown period lasts with a redstone comparator. 20 seconds for each level of strength. The mana throughput is extremely high. It's ideal flower for a quick boost in stores. However, during its cooldown period, any adjacent lava will be absorbed and reset the cooldown without yielding any additional mana. While placing lava in the world is definitely possible via dispensers, automatically gathering it and carrying it from the nether or deep underground is not. The thermal lily is classified as semi-automatable. Interesting. Okay, so we have a couple ways we can power these guys. That means we're going to have to expand the platform a little bit more, and we're all out of cobblestone. Because, if you notice, we have a bunch of lava. So using the lava flower, I forget what they're called already, we should be able to generate enough mana to fill up our mana pools. So I'm going to set that up because, as you saw here, it's going to take a little bit of time to gather all this material, like a rune of fire, rune of earth. Seeds will be easy, but that's going to take a little bit of time. The hardest flower in the game. Why is it the hardest? It just takes... Unless it just means hard to... Yeah, we have orange and I have bone meal, so I can get all of this really fast. Why does it say it's the hardest? But I am going to need to build a little holding area and gather all of the living rock, which will take a bit of time into itself since I only have one pure daisy. So... I'll do this off camera, and then I'll come back once everything is set up so we can get it running. So I'll see you in a second. Alright, welcome back. Had all the thermal lilies set up, so it works a lot faster than this setup, that's for sure. But I don't think this is a very good method. If I ever have to use Botania again, and I know the Elven Gateway is going to be into play, I think I'm going to set up mana pools way early in advance. That way I can just have this like fully automatic and just have mana be generated throughout the entire course of the playthrough and not have to sit here and cart lava back and forth. Luckily, for the blaze cakes, I already had a way to pull lava out of our system, so I could just feed these pretty easily. But man, this was a pain. At least with this system, I could just throw stuff in a chest and leave it alone, but this one I have to move the lava back and forth, but at least these ones work a lot faster. I think if I have to do it again, I'd probably use this munch stew and use these. Because I think setting up trees would be a lot easier to do. But now that's complete, and I used the mana splitter, that way I could split it into 4 mana pools, and that works better instead of 5. Let's go ahead and make our pylons. So we need 4 diamonds and 8 mana steel. So 4 diamonds, 8 mana steel. Throw this in this mana pool that I already had before. And create our 4 mana pylons, along with the gold. Now that we have the 4 mana pylons, we're going to convert these into the Natura pylons. So we're going to break 2 of these. Pylon, Echo Shard, Terra Steel. Let's make 4 of these, and now we place these atop our mana pools. And hopefully this is enough. Then it said to activate it, you just right click with the Wand of the Forest. And it's not working. What am I missing? At least 2 mana pools and natural pylons. Yeah, natural pylons. At least 2 mana pools with natural pylons directly above them would be needed within an 11 by 11 area around the core. The initial activation of the portal, we believe, would cost a huge amount of mana from said pools and be performed by right-clicking the core with a Wand of the Forest. The portal is designed to draw mana from all pools with pylons equally. If any pool ran out, any connection to the portal would close. Huh. What am I doing wrong? Living wood. Yeah, living wood. Unless, I mean, wait a minute. Living wood. Oh, this is living wood, but this is living wood log. Okay, I think that's the problem. I think We made it out of living wood and not living wood logs. Okay, let's break this. Never goes quite as expected, does it? But luckily we have access to logs very easily. So let's run down right now, grab some logs. Let's see, grab one of my buckets. Singularity is still going strong. I was about to jump off and I just realized that might be a bad idea. Not the greatest at parkour. Let's see, how's the bees doing? Any honey down here? Three bees and no honey. We only have a couple flowers. And we need 2, 4, 6, 8. 4. Perfect. Okay. So with 9, we should be able to fill out the portal. Because we only need 8, and 8 actually fits around the daisy very easily. Perfectly, in fact. So here's your tip. If you've been playing this pack along with me, when you're setting up the Elven Gateway core, set up your mana pools and mana generation far, far in advance, so you don't have to do it all at this time. Okay, so you put your logs right here, and then you stare at the logs until they submit to your authority. Change. Change. Doesn't look like anything's happening. The pure daisy will modify any adjacent wood and stone blocks into their purified counterparts. Yada yada. Living wood. Yeah, the pure daisy. Netherrack purifies into cobblestone. Soul sand into sand. Blaze mass into obsidian. Although it doesn't seem to be working, which is odd. Is there... Because before, if you place like the stone, it has a little animation. But this isn't doing anything. Let's see. Eight living wood blocks. The living wood blocks can be of any variant, logs or wood, stripped or not. So this should work. Why is it not working? Oh, that doesn't go there. Okay, so it says this should work. So the fact that it isn't is really weird. It's in bind mode. Do I have to do something else? I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. At least 2 pylons with natural pylons. Yep, we have the natural pylons. Do I have to... Function mode. Yeah, it's not doing anything. Am I doing something wrong? Yeah, natural pylons, Alfheim and portal. At least 2 mana pools directly above them with natural pylons. Need to be in an 11 by 11 area around the core. Right click it with a wand of the forest. And I have a wand of the forest, that's what I'm holding. So why isn't it working? That's so weird. This is a 14 by 14 because this is 1, 2, 3. This is within 14 by 14. So why isn't it working? And they all have mana. So weird. Okay, let me check YouTube. Let me see someone do this successfully, and that way I can figure out what I'm doing wrong. I'll be back in a second. So I hopped into a creative world to double check that I did everything right. I rebuilt the portal, same blocks, same mana pools, same pylons. And in the creative world, it worked perfect. It worked fine. I couldn't understand why it wasn't working. So I tore down the portal and everything. I made these mana tablets. They're actually quite cheap, as you can see here. Just takes a mana diamond and living rock, or the mana pearl. And you could just toss these into the mana pool, and they basically like a battery for mana. So I tore all of this down, and I moved it all the way over here. Because I just couldn't understand why it wasn't working. So I tore it down, moved it all the way over here. I right click it. It turns on. It works. We did it, guys. There was a little advancement you get for turning it on the first time, but I re-clicked it, so you're not going to see that. And I'm so confused. Why didn't it work? And you know what I realized? It has to do with these freaking ceiling lamps. I walked back over there and I looked up, and I'm under a ceiling lamp. So I'm pretty sure the issue was because I built the portal frame right under the ceiling lamp, the invisible blocks were inside it, and it just didn't want to activate. Like, it detected, oh, there's stuff in the way, I can't actually function. And because I walked over here and I placed it exactly in between without thinking and turned it on and it worked, that's the reason it worked, and I can't believe it. Apocryphithia. I forget how to exactly pronounce her name. If you're watching this video, please figure out a workaround for the light. I know the reason the bug exists is because these lights essentially make invisible, uninteractable blocks that emit light as well. But there has to be some kind of workaround for this, because it's so annoying. Or at least put a disclaimer in the mod pack, like in the quest book, for everything that can be bugged by this. Put a little note that, hey, do not build this in the way of any lights because it might not function. But now that we got her up and running, let's throw in our Lexica Botanica and see what happens. The golden Lexica Botania. How much mana did that use? Not a lot, not a lot. What did it give you? Elven mana lenses, elven mana spreaders, mana prism, spark augment, spark tinkerer. Huh, cool stuff. So it essentially gets you a whole bunch. What about flora? Oh, here we go. So that's why you can't see them. It gives you access to other flowers. The dandelion is not recommended for the faint of heart. While it's likely the most efficient available generating flower in the botanist toolbox, it's also one of the least straightforward to use. This flower's function is based on cellular automaton known as Conway's Game of Life. The area for this procedure is a 25 by 25 square centered around the dandelion itself. As long as the flower receives a redstone signal, it'll step the automaton twice a second. Oh, that's cool. So in case you didn't know what Conway's Game of Life is, it's essentially, if you're in computer science, you've definitely heard of this because it's a very beginner thing they introduce you to. It's essentially, it's like this, and then you have a full grid that starts with, you essentially make a big grid. And then you have something, this is your cell that's in here, and you basically have a rule that says, oh, so if this one doesn't have anything next to it, put this here, and then this will die. And these ones go, oh, there's nothing here, so it puts the one here, 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 that breaks. And then it keeps going like that. So these ones are like, oh, we're touching, so they die. These ones move on, and it goes like that. So that's funny that they included that. And that's probably why it's the most complicated, because if you're unaware of the concept, you probably have no idea how to set that up. But I'm sure there's tutorials everywhere. But now that that's done, literally all we have to do with the portal is deliver a pizza. Oh, and there was one more thing. What was the other thing? Or was it? The Bifrost blocks. Because we need Elementium, which is mana steel. What else is there? Let me bookmark this, because we need to make electronic control circuits. And for that we need Bifrost block, which means Alf glass, which is mana glass. I think we have glass on us. We do. So let's convert this over like so. So we could throw this in. Oh. They're not done. 13 alf glass. Cool. And then we need Rod of the Bifrost, which takes a Dragon Stone, which is a Mana Diamond. Bookmark this. Pixie Dust is Mana Pearls, Echo Shards. Okay, so while we have this, let's get 2 of these. Man, that's a shame. I don't have any Echo Shards on me. And then some iron, right? Elementium, yeah. 2 of these just for 1. We have infinite iron. Why am I being stingy? Just throw in a stack. Why? We have infinite resources. Just throw all of it in. Thank you, thank you. I think one of the diamonds got stuck, and we didn't get it back. Yeah, because I threw in a lot more than 3 diamonds. That's a little bit annoying. But okay, at least we finally solved the issue. I even thought the issue was the Wand of the Forest. I thought, because the video I saw didn't have this one, so I thought, is the problem my wand? Is the problem I have a brown wand? That's why it's not working? So I crafted a new wand thinking, okay, maybe that's the problem. I somehow have a bugged wand. That's the issue. But at least it all worked out. We figured it out. And the portal should stay open for long enough for me to get some more Echo Shards to turn into Mana Pearls, to turn into Pixie Dust, so we can make the Rod of the Bifrost. And then we can use it to make the Bifrost blocks, which will then be used to make reinforced alloy. Oh my goodness. That was annoying. But hey, now if you're doing this yourself and you run into this problem, you know how to fix it. So I'm glad we got there in the end. I'm your host, Hamas28, and I'll see you guys in Alfheim.